My name is Zanele Mazibuko. I was arrested on the 21st of November 2019. When the arrest took place, I was at my clinic in Johannesburg at Mabone Lifestyle Center because as a healer, I have a clinic there. I was busy with my patients that have booked appointments weeks prior to that day. Some of my patients are HIV patients, some are cancer patients, some have very serious chronic diseases. Yes, I had to drive all the way to Northwest. I drove to Northwest. When I got there were about close to 18 police cars, but there were no police cars because it was just private cars. It was only one police van. All other cars were private. There were over 20 people in my yard on private clothes. Only 3 of them were wearing police uniform. It was men and women. Immediately when I came in, the first thing I did to them, I demanded to see a search warrant. And I needed to know what was this about. Instead of explaining, they grabbed me, they tossed me around, they pushed me, they told me that we are hiding money, they want money. And then they started searching the house and kicking everything and demolishing the house and ransacking everything. And then I have 2 pit bulls that they took and put them in my curing room where I cure my flowers, because they found dried flowers. They didn't find anything in the greenhouse. They didn't find anything nowhere. They just found a few flowers dried in a dry room. They threw me at the back of the van with my hand cuffed behind my back because I was asking for a search warrant. I tried to show them the certificates. I had my certificates from not only from THO, from various places. I've done a 1-year anatomy course through the Department of Health and Traditional Healers Organization. And I've done my own research in New York, in the Bronx, where I was doing the philosophy of African traditional medicine, beliefs, cultures, and practice as a whole. It's a self-sponsored trip with my own money. That was in 2016. I have pictures where I'm with other indigenous communities from China, Japan, Mexico, Haiti, all those African indigenous people overseas. I tried to show them those certificates. They threw them on the floor because they were framed. They broke those frames. I also gave them an agreement between myself and the University of Pretoria, where I've studied plant and science. That was headed by Professor Namrita Lal and Lisa Lambrecht. They wanted us in that contract, they wanted us to work together in terms of indigenous knowledge, sharing the information, so we can try and test my products, because they are aware that they work on cervical cancer in Cape Town. I tried to show them everything, to make sure that really they understand that they are making a mistake. And I told them that I'm a member of CDC, I represent indigenous knowledge and healers. There is no way I can do this. And I'm a vetting inspected CDC. And I told them I'm in the interim structure of the traditional healthcare practitioners of South Africa. I'm in that council. They just laughed at me and they ridiculed me. They were, they pulled my clothes. Okay, some of the women, as I was talking, because they locked me in a very hot van in the car in this sun, like 42 degrees, with my hand cuffed in my back. They locked me in the van for hours. And then when I said to them, I'm hot, I'm dying here, they opened the door a little bit. They let me stand outside with my hand cuffed, and they still demand money. And I was demanding a search warrant. Okay, eventually, after about 3 to 4 hours, we were all arrested, taken to Jericho police station. When we got to Jericho, they opened charges. The charges were cultivation of cannabis, just a clean charge sheet. I have a copy here. Nothing, no content, nothing, which is fine. And all the plants and everything they took, including our phones and the passports, I expected them to register those things at the police station, like usually should be done. Okay, this is how much we found. And even the flowers, I expected them to at least wear them in front of me. Wear the flowers and say, okay, fine, we agree. We found so much flowers. They didn't wear anything. They didn't do anything. Went to the police station in Jericho. Our flowers never reached Jericho. From Jericho, we were taken to RTPS where we were detained. I appeared on Monday. I get some attorneys that don't know what they are doing. We had to pay 21,000 rands to one attorney. That didn't do nothing. Lucy was there. And then we got another attorney from Brett's Court that were given to us by the police at RTPS. That attorney said he needed some documents because the brain says to court, my husband doesn't have a right to be here. He's illegal in the country. Okay, the first time we appeared on the 5th of December, the case was postponed. We were denied bail. I went back to RTPS to stay another 8 more days. before I appeared in court. When I appeared the second time in court, Craig was there. Craig managed to get me the bail for 10,000 rands. Right, immediately when I came out, I had a friend attorney who wanted to go and check at Jericho. How much plants that they are talking about, they are saying it's 1.2. Plants are not there. Plants are not registered.
1.2 million
yes.
rands worth of
yes.
plants.
So he had to see them because he wanted to help. But there's no evidence. Our phones are not there. Our plants are not there. Everything is taken by Dubrain.
Explain who Dubrain is.
Dubrain, apparently they said, is the head of the Hawks. Right? And then ever since I saw Dubrain then. Okay, Dubrain is the one who declined my bail application the first time. The prosecutor and the judge just agreed. What is worse is I was arrested on the 21st. On the 22nd, I was all over ENCA. I was on SABC News, radio stations, calling me a drug dealer healer. I was accused of being a syndicate responsible for the guy who was arrested, the Canapex guy. I'm the one who is issuing licenses. I'm selling licenses just because I had mentioned that I work for CDC. I'm issuing and I'm selling licenses. I'm a big drug dealer. The stories were published everywhere. On Sunday, before I even appeared the first time, my family said, "We saw you on TV. You're on social networks. They're saying we're a drug dealer healer." By the time I appeared in court on Monday, already the judge and the prosecutor were 100% biased. They didn't want to hear what was going on. We didn't even utter a word. We just came in, and the way they were looking at us, and to me it's serious because with us black people, if you say somebody is a drug dealer, we are not thinking you advance, drugs like cocaine, or people are thinking nyawupe. People are thinking I'm mixing nyawupe and things and I'm selling to their children. So that is why the judge and the prosecutor, because the prosecutor even told me to sit still and look in front. Okay, from there, a week later, I attended a meeting at the Traditional Healthcare Practitioners Council. I was supposed to attend a meeting. When I was waiting for a confirmation, I'm surprised all of a sudden I'm not getting confirmation. Lucy calls me and says, "Are you coming to the meeting?" I said, "I don't know about any meeting." Lucy says, "But you remove yourself." They said, "You remove yourself from the group." I said, "How can I remove myself when I don't have my phone with me and my number with me?" So on the 15th of December, I was removed from the group. It means by the Hawks, by him. It means he gained access to my phone that was locked, and it was an iPhone. And he deleted me from the group, impersonating me, pretending to be me, and removing me from all these structures where I'm an executive. And then he's keeping our phone right now. By opening my phone, he has opened everything. And he's busy interfering with my emails. He's deleting certain emails. Because with my phone, once you open the lock key, everything is there. It is my computer. You find my emails, you find private documents. There are very secretive documents between us and the CDC and whoever and the healers, all other things. So it means he has access to everything without my permission, without any warrant. So what is happening now? Now I want to dismiss this case with cause based on my research that I have been doing. I've done so many research where people would sue just for invasion of privacy. Other people will sue just for a wrong search warrant. These people have done so many things. And my issue here is, if we continue with this case based on what evidence, because there is no evidence. If he says he took his evidence on his own, he can't be my God and he can't do that. It's not admissible in court. Because who knows if he'll go and buy some rubbish and say it's his. He was supposed to have registered that evidence at Jericho police station or in one neutral police station where I can sign for it. Because when I got to RTPS, I was wearing these things. My husband had watches. They took his watches, wrote them down, gave us a slip. When I was out on bail, they gave everything back because I gave them the slip. At Jericho, there's no process. So my biggest issue is I am not even willing to be trialed for this case as long as there is no evidence. What did he do with the evidence? So it means then there's no fairness.